Hello and welcome to the Therapist Connect podcast. My name is Dr. Peter Blundell. I started this podcast in 2020 as part of the Therapist Connect platform with the aim of connecting with other therapists through conversation and discussion. Throughout these episodes, we will talk about all things therapy related. We also host debates and discussions about pertinent topics and issues. One of my hopes for this podcast was to be able to illuminate some of the work that goes into becoming a therapist and to explore some of those unique journeys. As well as interviewing therapists about their life and work, we also host debates and discussions. The podcast aims to uphold all of the Therapist Connect values. It's not for profit. We don't aim to make any money from the podcast, but we do have running costs for our community. And so on occasion, we may have episode sponsors who align with our values. If you would like to make a donation to our platform, then you can find details on our website over at www.therapist-connect.com. We've always tried to be innovative in our approach to building a community. So we are constantly looking for new ways that we can connect to other therapists from around the world. Safer spaces can be hard to come by online, but we want to make sure all our podcast guests feel safe in sharing their experiences. So we ensure all our guests have the final say over any edits and what they will and won't share as part of the podcast's broadcast. We're really grateful for all our listeners. And if you have an idea for a podcast episode, send us an email at info@therapist-connect.com. The Therapist Connect platform is underpinned by compassionate and relational activism. In this respect, we aim to foster connection between therapists. However, we also understand that this isn't always possible. Each of the podcast hosts and guests all have their own beliefs and worldviews, and through our work, we aim to acknowledge and celebrate that diversity of people and approaches. Thank you so much for listening and supporting this part of our community. If you've enjoyed listening to our episodes, please leave us a review on your favourite podcast platform or share with colleagues. Thanks for listening to the Therapist Connect podcast.